Let's get real. Turning 60 doesn't automatically make you a travel genius. It just means you've had enough trips under your belt to believe your habits are the right way, even when the entire industry has quietly changed the rules. Airlines, hotels, and booking sites love that confidence. Familiarity makes travelers predictable, and predictable travelers are the easiest ones to upsell, reroute, and mildly inconvenience without anyone filing a complaint. Welcome to Passport Pointers, where we turn travel chaos into common sense, airline nonsense into strategy, and hard-earned experience into smarter trips. No fluff, no brochures, no outdated advice, just honest travel tips that actually work. This video is not here to shame you. It's here to update you. Because travel has changed. Airports have changed. Pricing has changed. Even your tolerance for nonsense has changed. The goal today is simple. Fix the 10 most common travel mistakes people over 60 still make. Mistakes that waste money, drain energy, and turn a vacation into a paid internship in logistics. And before anyone says, well, I'm not that old, relax. This isn't about age as a number. It's about how the travel industry treats you once it senses you value convenience. The moment you choose predictability over curiosity, companies start charging you for things you used to get for free. Your job is to notice it, laugh at it, and outsmart it. If you've ever said, I've been traveling for decades, I know what I'm doing, keep listening. Experience is valuable, but only if it evolves. Otherwise, it's just a collection of outdated shortcuts. Let's start with the first mistake, because it's the one that keeps you trapped in bad decisions out of pure habit. Mistake number 1. Treating airline loyalty like a sacred marriage contract. A lot of travelers over 60 are committed. They've flown the same airline for years, they know the check-in screens by heart, and they've got a loyalty account number that feels like part of their identity. The problem is that loyalty programs are not designed to reward emotional commitment. They're designed to reward spending, and they're designed to change whenever it benefits the airline. Here's what happens. You keep booking out of habit, and the airline quietly keeps adjusting the value of points, the availability of reward seats, and the rules for earning perks. One day you realize you've collected a mountain of points that are hard to use when you actually want to travel, or the free benefit you expected now comes with conditions, fees, or limited availability. None of this is personal. It's business. The real mistake is not joining loyalty programs. The mistake is letting loyalty override common sense. You should still compare total cost, schedule, seat comfort, baggage rules, and flexibility. You should still check competing flights. You should still be willing to switch if the deal is better. Loyalty is only smart when it's saving you money or buying you comfort. If it's just making you feel faithful while you pay more for less, that's not loyalty. That's nostalgia with a boarding pass. Mistake number 2, overpacking like you're moving out of state. Somewhere around 60, packing stops being practical and becomes emotional. You pack just-in-case outfits, backup shoes, and the kind of toiletry kit that makes TSA stare at you like you're opening a pharmacy. And then you're shocked when your bag is heavy, you're sweaty in the terminal, and your shoulders are filing a complaint with your spine. Overpacking costs money, sure. Fees and weight limits are real. But the bigger cost is energy. And energy is the one thing you don't get a refund on. Every extra pound turns into extra stops, extra awkward lifts, and extra moments where you're hunting for a place to sit because your shoulders are done negotiating. You know what you never hear anyone say on a trip? I'm so glad I brought more stuff. You hear the opposite. Why did I do this to myself? Dragging a heavy suitcase through a terminal is not a warm-up. It's the first event in the Travel Olympics. Lifting bags into overhead bins turns into a shoulder workout nobody asked for. And the funniest part? You'll still wear the same 2 comfortable outfits over and over, while the nice outfit you packed for a hypothetical fancy dinner never leaves the suitcase. Pack for reality, not fantasy. Bring versatile clothes that mix and match. Limit shoes to what you will actually wear. Wear your bulkiest items on travel days, and accept this truth. If you truly forgot something important, the destination probably sells it. Packing light doesn't make you unprepared. It makes you mobile, and mobility is luxury. Mistake number 3, booking based on flight time instead of total travel time. Oh, it's only a 2-hour flight. Great. Did you notice the 4-hour layover, the 90-minute drive to the airport, the surprise gate change, and the long walk to baggage claim that feels like a scenic hike through Terminal Wilderness Park? Your 2-hour flight is now an all-day project. Total travel time matters more after 60 because fatigue stacks. It stacks quietly, too. You don't feel it on the first leg. You feel it when you land and realize you still have to find your hotel, eat something, and pretend you're excited instead of depleted. And if the connection is late at night, that fatigue turns into irritability fast. Suddenly, every announcement sounds personal, and every delay feels like a conspiracy. A long connection isn't extra time to relax. It's extra time to sit in uncomfortable chairs, hunt for outlets like it's a scavenger game, and pay $11 for a snack that tastes like sadness. Tight connections are worse because running through an airport isn't adventure. It's cardio you didn't plan for with a carry-on as your unwilling training partner. Price matters, but so does the cost and energy. Look at door-to-door time, when you leave home, when you arrive at the hotel, and how many transitions happen in between. If saving $40 turns your trip into an 8-hour gauntlet, you didn't save money. You bought stress at a discount. Mistake number 4. I'll figure it out when I get there. This mindset worked in the era of paper tickets and friendly airline agents who had time to help. Modern travel is a machine. It rewards preparation and punishes improvisation. Winging it often means paying more, waiting longer, and ending up stranded while you argue with an app. The classic version of this mistake is arriving in a new city with no plan for transportation. You assume there will be an easy shuttle, a simple taxi line, or ride shares everywhere. Sometimes there are. Sometimes the line is an hour, prices surge, or the service is limited. Then you're standing outside with luggage, squinting at your phone, wondering why the relaxing vacation started with a scavenger hunt. Plan the basics: how you'll get from airport to hotel, how you'll handle late check-ins, what you'll do if your flight is delayed, and where your reservations live, online and offline. Planning isn't uptight. Planning is the adult version of not getting lost on purpose. Mistake number 5, being cheap about comfort and expensive about nonsense. You'll refuse a seat with extra legroom because that's ridiculous, but you'll spend $12 on water and pretend it's normal. You'll decline early boarding, then wrestle your carry-on into the last remaining overhead space like you're auditioning for a wrestling show. Comfort upgrades aren't status symbols. After 60, they're joint protection. This doesn't mean you need first class. It means you should spend on the things that prevent pain and stress. A better seat can reduce stiffness. A realistic boarding group can reduce the chaos of fighting for bin space. A direct flight can reduce the number of times your body has to get up, sit down, stand in line, and repeat. Be frugal where it doesn't matter. Souvenirs, impulse shopping, the third overpriced coffee. Spend where it does. Comfort, timing, and space. The goal is to arrive with energy, not to prove you can suffer through economy like it's a character-building exercise. Mistake number 6, trusting the airport memory map in your head. Airports change constantly. Gates move. Terminals get renovated. Security checkpoints shift. What you remember from last year might be completely different today. If your plan is, I know this airport, congratulations. You're about to learn it again the hard way. This mistake shows up as strolling in like you have plenty of time, then discovering your gate is a 10-minute walk, plus a train, plus a sprint through a hallway that feels longer than your last relationship. It shows up as assuming your favorite shortcut exists, only to find it blocked off for construction. It shows up as getting comfortable at one gate, then realizing your flight moved to the opposite side of the terminal. The fix is simple. Treat every trip like the airport is new. Check the gate before you leave home. Check it after security. Check it again before boarding. Build margin for walking and changes. Airports aren't museums. They're living systems, and they love to rearrange themselves when you least feel like doing cardio. Mistake number 7, assuming your phone will magically solve everything. Modern travel is basically a relationship between you and a battery percentage. Boarding passes, maps, hotel confirmations, ride shares, translations, everything lives on your phone. That's fine until the moment it isn't. Batteries die, signals drop, apps freeze, screens crack. And suddenly you're holding a very expensive rectangle that can't tell you where you're going. The most common tech mistake is relying on, I'll just look it up. Also, don't assume every place has the same outlets, the same charging stations, or the same patience. Airports love putting the only outlet behind a trash can, and hotels love placing the lamp, so you have to move furniture like you're redecorating. Your phone plan should not depend on luck and a prayer. Look it up on what signal, at what cost, at what battery level. Smart travel means backups. Download offline maps before you leave. Save your hotel address in more than one place. Take screenshots of boarding passes and reservations. Carry a small power bank. And yes, print the truly critical stuff if you're going somewhere with spotty connectivity. Technology should support you, not hold your trip hostage. If one dead battery can derail your day, your plan wasn't a plan. It was a hope. Mistake number 8, refusing help because pride is louder than your knees. Some travelers over 60 act like asking for assistance is a moral failure. They'd rather struggle with luggage, stand in painful lines, and limp through terminals than request the services that exist for exactly this reason. The truth is, the travel system is not built for comfort. It's built for throughput. If you need help, use it. That's not weakness. That's strategy. Assistance might mean requesting a wheelchair or cart in large airports. It might mean using pre-boarding if you qualify. It might mean asking for help with bags. It might mean choosing a hotel with elevators and easy access instead of a charming staircase that becomes your daily enemy. You're not a burden for traveling safely. You're a customer. You're allowed to choose the version of travel that doesn't injure you. The only people who benefit from you toughing it out are the companies collecting your money while you suffer quietly. Mistake number 9, scheduling vacations like a competitive sport. Some people plan trips like they're trying to win an award for most activities crammed into one human body. They schedule 8 things in one day, with no breaks, then act shocked when day 3 arrives and their feet declare independence. Over 60, recovery is a real thing. If you don't schedule rest, your body will schedule it for you, usually at the least convenient time. A good trip has margin, it has slow mornings, it also has a realistic relationship with your feet. If your itinerary requires you to power walk all day on hard pavement, that's not culture. That's a joint stress test. Build in time to sit, hydrate, and reset. Because pushing through is how you turn day 4 into a hotel room documentary called Why My Legs Hate Me. It has a day where you do one big thing, not 5. It has downtime for food that isn't inhaled between tours. It has the humility to accept that you don't need to see everything to have a great trip. You're not proving anything by being exhausted in a beautiful place. A slower itinerary isn't wasted time. It's how you actually enjoy the destination instead of sprinting past it. Mistake number 10, expecting travel to make you feel 25 again. Travel is not a time machine. It doesn't rewind your joints, your patience, or your tolerance for crowds. In fact, travel often highlights what has changed. You get tired faster, you recover slower, and you are suddenly very aware of how loud people can be in public. That doesn't mean you shouldn't travel. It means you should travel like someone who knows themselves. The mistake is pretending discomfort is noble. It's not. It's avoidable. If a plan would have been annoying at 40, it will be brutal at 60 plus. Long lines, cramped seats, and late night arrivals don't make you tougher. They just make you tired. The flex isn't surviving discomfort. The flex is designing a trip where you don't need to survive it in the first place. Travel after 60 is better when you build the trip around your real needs: more rest, smarter timing, better seating, and boundaries. Boundaries like, I'm not doing a 6 a.m. tour after a late night, and I'm not walking 5 miles before lunch, and I'm not pretending I'm fine when I'm not. The joy of travel now is not chasing youth. It's choosing comfort and confidence on purpose. If you've already caught yourself nodding at least twice, do yourself a favor and hit like, subscribe, and stick around. Passport Pointers is where we turn travel chaos into comedy and give you the kind of advice brochures never will. Drop a plane in the comments and tell me which mistake you've made the most. No judgment. Okay, maybe a little judgment, but the helpful kind. And if you're thinking, I don't make mistakes, that's adorable. The only people who don't make travel mistakes are people who don't travel, or people who lie on the internet for fun. Either way, not our crowd. Here's the good news. Making these mistakes doesn't mean you're bad at travel. It means you're human, and the industry keeps changing. The difference between a miserable trip and a great one is awareness. People over 60 can be the smartest travelers in the airport if they stop traveling on autopilot. So update your habits, pack lighter, plan smarter, spend on comfort, keep backups, ask for help, build margin, and travel like someone who knows what matters. Fly smart, laugh at the chaos, and may your next trip feel like a vacation, not a punishment. And yes, You deserve that version of travel. Thanks for watching Passport Pointers, and I'll see you in the next video.